Are you working on a budget? Or maybe you don't know where to start? Well, this week we are covering the pantry. This horrible door over here. It's always an absolute mess and I don't like showing it to you, but I'm showing you how to stock it. If you were starting from scratch and didn't have any sauces, baking items or spices, this is the Savvy Suppers Pantry Essentials. I break it down into each section, and of course there are many other spices, things that are useful, but these are my absolute minimal basics. So if you're starting your pantry from zero and need some great ideas, well, this is for you. Most of these items are not going to break the bank, and you can pick up one each time you go shopping, and before you know it, you'll have a full flavour station in your cupboard. Mix and match, you hopefully will have lots of things to make different flavours from around the world. And if you're looking for some yummy things for these to go into, I've added up here a whole bunch of my Savvy Supper videos where I show you how to make dinner for 2 to 3 people with leftovers for your lunch and all for under $50. Welcome to Savvy Suppers, the Pantry Edition. Welcome back to Savvy Suppers. This is the Pantry Edition. I'm not going shopping this week, I'm just showing you the essentials that I always keep on hand to make cooking easier, cheaper and faster. And here they are. If I had to narrow down the spices that I use all the time, this would be them. A classic curry powder, some cumin powder, some cayenne, chili or paprika, some herbs, usually Italian because they've got a good mix in, some chili flakes, good old S&P, salt and pepper, and some Chinese 5-spice. And with all these, you can cover most cuisines, most flavours, and you can do great blends. They're a great way to add big flavour without buying lots of ingredients. Of course, there are plenty of others out there, but these are definitely the ones that I can't live without. What about you? What's your favourite spice? Welcome back to Savvy Suppers. This is the Pantry Edition. This one is all about baking supplies and the basics that I always keep stocked up. As you can see, you don't need a lot, but with these pantry staples, you can make great things. Flour, of course, is a staple for savouries and sweets. Baking powder and corn flour, two simple things to have. This one helps your cakes rise, and this one helps thicken your sauces. Both cheap to buy and essential for the cupboard. Sugars, white and brown. This one's a little bit more caramelly, and this one is obviously great for all your other stuff. Again, super cheap, you buy them in bulk, they live in the cupboard. And finally, oats. Great for making slices, breakfast, and even dinners. A few simple items, always kept on hand, making life a little bit simpler. They're cheap to stock and they last ages. But there is one other baking essential that I often keep on hand, and that's milk powder. It works out at being a little bit cheaper to make a litre, and if you don't drink a lot of milk but want it for your baking stuff, it's a great way to keep it so that the milk doesn't go off and you don't have to try and drink it. These are my Savvy Supper essentials and what I always have on hand. But tell me, what's your baking essential you can't live without? Welcome back to Savvy Suppers. It's the Pantry Edition and it's the last day of the week, and we're talking about sauces, oils and vinegars. As you can see, not many here, but definitely things that I use nearly every day. Nothing fancy, just very practical. I always have some veg oil on hand. This is mostly for cooking and frying. Some olive oil for finishing off salads or making dressings. Vinegars for sauces and dressings too. And then a little bit of sesame oil and some soy sauce. These two, of course, I don't use every day, but always handy to have on hand to change the flavours of a dish and make something feel a little bit different. And finally, to go with these guys, I'd always say the last thing I keep in my pantry is good old garlic. And these probably go in every single meal I make. It's delicious, tasty, and a great addition to your pantry. And with all of these things, you're not buying them all the time. These are additional extras, but when you work out how much it is per portion, it really comes in pretty cheap. If you decided that only these pantry staples were what you were gonna have, you'd be able to make banging, tasty meals every day of the week. And that's the end of Savvy Suppers, the Pantry Edition. Tune back in next week when we'll be back with more Savvy Suppers, which come in at under $50 to feed you and your fam.